The following material is presented for informational and sales purposes only and represents our understanding of generally applicable rules. It is not intended and does not set forth solutions to individual situations. New York Life Insurance Company, its agents, or employees may not give legal, tax, or accounting advice, and none is intended nor should be inferred from the information herein. Clients should consult their own professional advisors prior to implementing any planning strategies. This material includes a discussion of one or more tax-related topics prepared to assist in the promotion or marketing of the transactions or matters addressed. It is not intended and cannot be used by any taxpayer for the purpose of avoiding any IRS penalties that may be imposed upon the taxpayer.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell. Sponsored by Absolute Mortgage, a division of Pinnacle Capital Mortgage Corporation. Now, in the studio, local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, right here on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, July 23rd show. It's a great day to talk money. That's why I'm here with you and what the show is all about, how to make money, how to save money, and have a better quality of life for you and your family. If you're hearing my show at a different time of day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And in studio right now, I have Tony Sablan with New York Life Eagle Strategies, and we're going to be talking about financial planning for widows. Tony, thank you so much for coming back and joining me in studio.
Well, thank you, Tina. It was great to see you again.
And a little bit about Tony. Tony is a wealth advisor with Eagle Strategies, LLC. He's also the founder of Ultimate Wealth Strategies based in Bellevue, Washington. Tony works with individuals, families, and business owners to identify what motivates them, what keeps them up at night, and then focuses on financial solutions that can help them reach their goal and their reality. He not only relies on his own knowledge and expertise, but also the expertise of his team and specialists. His mission is to develop enduring relationships with his clients, providing expert guidance pertaining to life insurance strategies, investments, and upgrading people's financial plans. Tony's also a soon-to-be author for his financial planning book, coming out in the fourth quarter of this year. So, Tony, it's an interesting topic, something that I haven't discussed with you before, and excited to share this with my listeners. We're going to be talking about financial planning for widows. Tony, it looks like we've had it's really interesting topic today, and financial planning for widows. Yeah,
definitely. And this topic is near and dear to me, and is also one of the reasons why I'm in the business of helping folks with their financial planning. My dad passed away when I was young and left the family with nothing, and Mama had to work hard to raise 5 boys. So God bless her.
Yeah. And so glad you found motivation to help my listeners with their financial planning. Could you share some statistics on widows, what they go through when they lose their spouse?
Yeah, so a recent survey indicated that women are often unprepared for the financial difficulty of losing a spouse. And among women whose spouses had life insurance when they died, the life insurance proceeds lasted almost 2.5 years.
Wow.
But they wish they would have lasted longer. Ideally, that number is 14 years, is what they wish they would have had enough income for. And then 68% of women report significant life changes after the death of a spouse, with financial concerns at the top of the list.
So, Tony, what about the women that feel secure about their family finances and had their spouses handle all of the finances?
Well, feeling secure isn't the same as being secure.
Yes.
77% of women reported feeling secure about their finances before the death of their spouse, but were faced with a very different picture afterwards. Some of the married couples I see usually have either the husband or wife handle the family finances, and more often than not, the person not handling the finances is unaware of what their financial picture looks like or where to find information when an impactful event such as death happens. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, it would be a good idea to be involved with the discussion and at least be aware of where the family finances are.
So, Tony, I know that there's the top 5 things that can happen with a significant other when they pass. Can you share those with my listeners?
When the husband or wife dies, based on the survey, women were more impacted by the loss of a spouse. The top 5 life changes after a spouse has left are adjusting to a change of income, budgeting for one income, cutting discretionary spending, not able to afford a vacation, and not saving enough for retirement. Those are the top 5 life changes that happen.
So all women out there should be more involved with the family finance and financing decisions. That makes common sense, and really have a plan so that their lifestyle doesn't have to change drastically, really putting things together so they know what their situation is and plan out for the future if that were to happen, correct?
Correct. So 2 in 5 women whose spouses did not have life insurance reported that they struggled to meet basic needs within the first year of the death of their spouse. 59% of women reported they didn't have enough life insurance in place to feel financially secure, and 47% of women report they wish they had some or more life insurance to help cushion the impact of their loss. So when it comes to the main thoughts and in top to bottom order, the respondents were: I wish we had more life insurance. That's number 1. I wish we had saved more. I wish we had detailed discussions about what might happen financially if one of us passed. And I wish we had a better financial plan in place. And lastly, I wish we had organized all our important papers in one place. So taking an hour out of your month to discuss your financial security with your loved one can save you years of heartache and financial security.
Yeah, so if you're, for all the women listening to the show right now, you definitely don't want to be back saying, I wish, and it really is all about planning. And that's what the show's about. It's bringing in experts so you know how to plan for all areas regarding your finances, because tragedies, unexpected things come up, and you can definitely get through it in an easier fashion when you plan ahead. So Tony, what are some basic financial planning tools that you can have in place so that my women that are listening to the show can be more secure?
One of the things you could do is create a solid foundation by having enough life insurance on yourself and on your spouse. This should be top of mind if you're a single parent. No other financial vehicle will give your family more dollars for the pennies you exchange for it. Number 2, take stock of your retirement, whether it is an IRA or 401k. If you don't have one, have a discussion with your spouse on setting one up for yourself, and ensure that you are diversified in that aspect as well. And then also know your family budget. What are your monthly expenses? What are the necessary bills that need to be paid? And also have in mind a budget that just shows you the bare essentials that it would take for yourself and the family to live. And lastly, have an emergency savings of at least 6 months or 1 year's worth of savings so that you have liquidity to handle immediate expenses that may arise.
Yeah, and I think, when you're really looking at the budgeting, the money that's going out, you have to look in the future as well with inflation and what's going to be happening with those costs. And I would imagine, Tony, as financial planner, you've got some pretty great tools that you can help forecast to see what's going to be coming up for these women in the future and what their expenses are, or the income that they're going to need to have to keep those. Is that correct?
Definitely.
Yeah. So what do you see with your clients right now? What are the biggest mistakes that are happening, Tony? Or I guess I shouldn't say with your clients, because your clients are not making mistakes, but what do you see in general that you're helping people to ensure that they're not getting stuck in that trap?
So what I'm seeing is there isn't enough of that solid foundation. So when you think about building a house, you build a strong foundation. Correct? Now, if you didn't have that strong foundation and a storm came, that house will go away.
Yes.
So in the same respect, when you think about your financial planning and your investments, what vehicle or tools do you have to secure the investments you have, or at least mitigate any volatility in the market?
Makes sense. And so, really you should have the 2 plans, looking at hopefully both you and your spouse stay around for a long time. So having that plan out of what that looks like with those 2 incomes, and going out into the future and where you need to be, what savings you need to have, what life insurance policy and all of that. And as well, if you were to lose one of those incomes. So it's not just about having one plan, it's about having those multiple plans, not knowing what road you're going to end up going down, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. So what advice would you give my women? This show is for women and for men. It was just today we wanted to share and thank you for putting some extra focus on my women listeners. But what would be the biggest advice that you'd have right now for them?
So have a plan in place. You don't have to have everything in place to set one up. And that plan also does not have to be perfect. You just need to take action and create one for when either your husband or wife or both don't make it home one day. Also, for those not involved with the family finances, you don't have to be intimately involved with the financial plan. At least be aware of where documents are stored and how to access accounts if need be. And then also have an estate directory that shows you a list of numbers to contact and where everything is when one of you don't make it home one day. And lastly, I'll leave you with, if you think that everything is taken care of, it never hurts to have a second opinion on your family financial plan, as some advisors only focus on pieces of the plan, whether that be the insurance side or the risk management or the accumulation side, such as the investments, 401k, whatnot. But find someone that will have a holistic and comprehensive view of your plan.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Tony, how often do you meet with your clients? Are you meeting with them on an annual basis to do an annual review, or how do you normally structure that with your clients?
So depending on the client, I'll meet with them either monthly, quarterly, twice a year, or annually. It just depends on how you want to interact. But most folks like at least three check-ins a year. So
if there's a husband and wife, and the husband is taking care of majority of the finances, do you suggest that the wife comes along with at those meetings as well? Yes, definitely. Yes, and I wanted them to hear it from you, not from me. But even if your husband does take care of the finances, being involved in those financial meetings, if you're talking on a quarterly basis or a couple times a year, to get an understanding of what's happening and to be able to ask questions and really have a good picture of what's going on with your finances. Definitely. Yeah. So Tony, what's happening in the market today? What are you advising I know we're not really here to talk about advice and what to do because it's on a personal basis and what their plan looks like, but what's happening in your arena? So in my arena, a lot of things that people are appreciating is guaranteed income. And there's a lot of retirees. There are about approximately trillion of assets transferring from one generation to the next. And then also you have people retiring and people are living longer. So what vehicle can protect my income and also make it last a lifetime? And annuities get a bad rap, but there's also some good ones out there. So really it's just about sitting down with your financial planner and having a more comprehensive look at your portfolio. And it's having of Diversify, making sure that you're covered in all areas. And I've said before in the show, there's a lot of products, and every product out there has good points and not, and it's figuring out the right product that fits your financial plan and what you're trying to accomplish. Correct. And you wouldn't have all your money in one bucket. So annuities are one thing, insurance is one thing, your 401k is another. Your IRA is another bucket of money. Your Social Security is another bucket of money. Your home, and your home equity. So it's really about taking all the buckets of money you have, designing a strategy to best efficiently withdraw the money. Because you want to spend your money at the end of the day. Exactly. And not just watch it grow, right? You want to spend it wisely. Yes. And you do, with me in the mortgage arena, I know with a lot of times in clients from their financial planner, you're talking with a client and sending them over to talk with their mortgage professional as well, because now that we've got equity back in our properties, low interest rates, it might be a good time for you to take a look at pulling some resources out of your home and reallocating that into, an area that's going to help you plan for the future. So if you're listening to the show and you want any advice, either on the mortgage side or the financial side, you can just call the show at 1-855-400-1150 or go online at themoneyhour.com. We can connect you directly with Tony or myself. Tony, thank you so much for coming back in studio. Really appreciate it and look forward to having you back again soon. Thank you, Tina. It's great being here. Coming up in the Money Hour, are you a seller in today's real estate market? What do you need to know about pre-inspections? We'll have Barb Paxa with Keller Williams Realty right here at 1150 AM KKNW after this short break.